I am Shereem Herndon-Brown. I am the founder, president, and all things strategic admissions advice. I've been doing this for a long time, and I really, really enjoy it. Why? Because I get to do something like this. Talk to you, parents, about the importance of college essays. All joking aside, we are at a time in college admissions where there's so much uncertainty and so many different things going on that I feel like the only thing that you and your child, but primarily your child's responsibility, that they can take ownership of is their college essay. Their grades at this point, if you're in the class of 2025, may be spoken for. If they're submitting standardized testing, they've taken the test. Hopefully they've done well. But again, colleges are still in this limbo space of how they're going to consider testing. A lot of colleges are returning to testing. It's causing a lot of anxiety in students. And I want you and your child to not feel that anxiety based upon solely numbers, grades, scores. Then there's the activities. And although those aren't numbers, certain students feel like, well, I haven't done anything. Now I'm not going to get into college. There are 4,000 colleges and universities in the country. 2,000 offer bachelor's degrees. 60% of them admit 65% of their applicants. Let's not just focus on the very few that are very, very selective, but I do understand it's on your mind. But what your child can control, and I want you to know this too, is their essay. Someone who used to teach English to 5th graders, 7th graders, 9th graders, and 12th graders, teaching them about college essays. This is something I take tremendous pride in and something I enjoy. And I want you to know that the essay can help your child stand out in ways that other pieces may not. And I think it's a great way to differentiate them, particularly in a highly competitive college admissions pool. And I also want this to be something that they're proud of themselves for producing. So I say all that because we do have an essay writing course, how to write an awesome college essay that you can check out at Strategic Admissions Advice. But today I really want to give you 3 essay topics that I'm not a huge fan of, quite frankly, right? A few months ago, the Common Application put out their annual, these are the prompts for the next cycle, 2024, 2025. Here are the essay questions that your child can consider. Now, remember, there's a difference between personal essays and supplemental essays. We're going to talk about personal essays this week and I think next week, but I want to make sure that you understand there's a difference. So the supplemental essays are over there for now. We're going to talk about personal essays today. Of all the topics that they can choose between 7 different prompts. 3 of them, I think, again, my personal opinion, don't need to be high on your child's pecking order. And let me tell you why. The first question, I'm going to read it out to you. Some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful, they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. It's a great question. I just wish they didn't ask it first. Because what it oftentimes leads students to doing is focusing on the first thing that they see and choosing that as their topic. And again, your child has a unique story. Kids are like a snowflake. There's no 2 of them are alike. But for them to just see this at the top, the background, identity, interest, or talent, they are in some ways forced to find what's so unique about me and write about that versus the other 6 prompts or really 4 prompts in my mind. But I want you to know that that is the most popular. The Common Application a few years ago put out a pie chart of which prompts were used the most, and that was one of them. That was the number one. Most students chose number 1 because it's what they saw. They felt most comfortable with it. Sometimes kids have to come out of their comfort zone in order to, I think, produce great work. The second question that, again, is very, very popular, and I'm not saying that it's wrong for your kid, but I think there are others that I'll talk about next week that I think can really help kids to illustrate a lot more about their lives and offer them something else in the college admissions process. Number 2, the lessons we take from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental to later success. Recount a time when you have faced a setback or a failure. Recount a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. How did it affect you, and what did you learn from the experience? Great question. Great question. Except that now every kid feels like they need to find some challenge that they overcame, something that they failed at that they overcame. These are important things for them to consider as they're growing into adolescence and young adulthood. But is it a time for them to, in my opinion, share the doom and gloom of their high school experience and how they resurrected themselves? I think other kids are doing that. I know other kids are doing that. And again, I don't want your kid going into this process thinking that they have to talk about a trauma, that they have to talk about some horrible, horrific experience they went to in order to jolt the admissions officer. There are good things in your child's life, and they've grown in many, many ways. I think recounting a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure makes kids think about the bad times in their lives. And I also know that so many kids do it, it doesn't differentiate them, and it becomes just a long series of essays that colleges have to read that are based upon not great experiences. Again, my personal opinion, those are questions number 1 and 2. Lastly, for today, the third one that, again, not a huge fan of because I feel like it's a catch-all. Share an essay on any topic of your choice. It can be one you've already written, one that responds to a different prompt, or one of your own design. Again, it's a catch-all, and it helps a lot of kids get through this process. Next week, we're going to talk about the 4 prompts that I'm big fans of, primarily because no one uses them. So number 7, which is that catch-all, share an essay on any topic of your choice. It works, but I want you and your child to discuss all 7 options, not just rely on the first thing they see or the trauma of number 2 or the catch-all of number 7. There are 3, 4, 5, and 6 that I want to make sure that we discuss as well. So parents, what is your takeaway from this? I need you to sit down with your kid or driving with your kid and just read the questions off. Just let's talk about this. Let's hear, what are you thinking as you hear these prompts? Maybe you can brainstorm with them, which is a great way for parents to get involved. So parents, I need your help with brainstorming essay topics with your kid. I need you to know what the essay topics are. I need you to have a plan for your kid to do this essay, because I don't know if your kid's like mine, but they're thinking about summer and they're not thinking about when they're going to do the essay. They know they have to do it. They're just not sure when. Help them put some guardrails, some structure around their time management in order to execute this process. Again, Shereem Herndon-Brown, Strategic Admissions Advice. I want to help you. We want to help you. Please reach out to us, strategicadmissionsadvice.com, to figure out how we can help your child with their college essay process.